Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, look, I have problems, you have problems, the world has problems, but there's positive and negative that come from every action and decision that we make, and every once in a while we have to take accountability for that. The reason why I'm saying this is because today we're going to be doing some back squat, and I'm going to be discussing some mental health things as we go along, because I really truly believe that strength training is part of the equation for the totality of the circumstance in order to combat some negative thoughts and to improve your mental health. So for today's menu, I'm going to be doing the axle bar. I think it's thick, doesn't bend. It's 2 inches thick in diameter, so it's about as thick as a Coke can, and the ends don't rotate. So this is a pretty stiff bar to train on. What I kind of found warming up is it kind of rolls around on my back, which I really don't like. Barbells are much more secure when I'm able to back squat it. And I'm going to be adding those chains as well. And the idea is I've been training without a belt with the axle bar, doing back squats specifically. And now I kind of want to see where I'm at with the chains, just to kind of be safe, because in case I need to bail, it's a little bit safer to bail with the chains. So let's pop into today's strength giant set, see what we got going on. Alrighty, so for today's strength giant set, like I said, I'm going to be doing the back squat with the axle bar. And the idea here is just to change the stimulus, even if it's just a little bit. It's such a stiff bar, thick in diameter, doesn't bend, the ends don't rotate, and it's going to make it a lot harder to stay on my back. So that's going to be the challenge for today. And as I go up in weight, I'm also going to be doing some box jumps. It's a great exercise to do to work the explosiveness and to work the quads as I go up in weight. And I'm also going to be doing some pull-up press, which is to target those obliques, just to make sure that I'm getting some oblique work, but I'm also strengthening my core as the weight goes up and I'm activating it. And that's going to be the strength giant set for today. But like I said, I'm going to be adding those chains as well, which will be 45 pounds in total. But that small chain on there that never decompresses to the ground, that's going to be 5 pounds. So it's going to be 5 pounds extra on the bar, plus 40 pounds of drop-down chains once it completely decompresses into the ground. Now, there's many things that you can do if you're having or struggling with some mental health problems. And of course, I'm not a doctor or a physician or a mental health therapist, so please just take this with a grain of salt. But I do believe that strength training does have a factor when it comes to the totality of the circumstance, when it comes to overall mental health. I know a lot of people that go to the gym and they feel like they have to absolutely thrash themselves. Otherwise, if they don't leave the gym completely tired, the muscles are absolutely at its lowest in fatigue, and they're gasping for air on the way out of the gym, then they don't feel like that the gym was worth it. And the problem with thrashing yourself is it's hard to gauge how much rest you're going to need in order to repeat that same performance. And it's actually difficult to track your performance to see if you're actually improving by thrashing yourself. Now, when it comes to strength training, you can actually see your progression by the weight of the implement going up. That's how you can tell you're getting stronger. If you start off with just the bar in any of the big compound movements, and then you're adding weight to it, and you can do 1 rep more or several reps more than the last time you can do it, and you can add weight to it and increase that performance, you can easily tell that you're doing something right and that you're progressing. And that does a lot for your mental health, because when you see those plates get bigger and bigger, you start to feel better because you can actually see your progression in physical form. And that's why I'm out here today, because life is hard and it can get quite complicated sometimes. And in order for me to combat all the depression and negative stigmas that are out there, it's easy for me to come out to the gym, forget about all of that, and just focus on my own personal progress as I increase in my strength training programs. And training in giant set format and adding other movements as I'm going up in my strength training really improves my mental health as well, because I get a good sweat and I'm working on other things other than just the compound movement. So I don't feel like I'm wasting time. I don't feel like I'm just doing the back squat today. I feel like I'm attacking my overall body and my overall athleticism and conditioning. And that's important, because when I leave the gym, I feel like I got a lot done. So if you want to try this method of giant strength training, I really encourage you to give it a shot, because it really does wonders on your mental health if you want to know that you got a lot done and you feel better at the end of your workout. Now, watching this video coming all the way up to this point to my top set, my depth was really good. So I was very happy with that. Because as I'm coming up to my top set right here, it's really important that I make sure that I dial everything in and I get this right, because this is going to be the most amount of weight that I've ever lifted without any knee sleeves on and without like a box or any other supportive gear other than a belt. And I must say I could have probably gone maybe an inch lower, but I hit parallel at least, and it was a struggle bus to get it up. But it went, and I knew that I was going to be able to do it. I just didn't know how fast it was going to go. And that's always a good feeling, to know that your training is on point. So when you're at your top set with the most amount of weight on your back, you know that you're going to hit it. You just need to take the time to make sure to hit it properly, so you can reduce the likelihood of injury and to work the muscles that are appropriate. All right, so that was a struggle, but that is the most I've ever back squatted in my life, because my max ever was 455, and that was without chains. But where I'm at right now with the axle bar and it moving around being so unstable, I will take that any day. This is a really big improvement for me, so I was very grateful to see that I was training in the right direction. After today's session, I'll probably go back to a barbell and start small and just work my way up again like I did on the axle bar. That seemed to help my back squat improve and increase in weight a lot better. And now let's finish the workout strong. So let's pop into that starting right now. Now for the variation giant set, I was really feeling it in the quads. So I kind of wanted to take it a little bit easier. So I decided I was just going to do 3 rounds, and I was going to do a Zercher carry with that axle bar. This is a great exercise to do just for overall strength. It's common in strongman, but it does actually improve a lot of overall strength when it comes to pushing and pulling human beings. And I just kept at the same weight for those 3 rounds. I continued with the box jumps just to kind of keep it even in training, and also with the pull-off press, just again, because I was doing that in the strength format. So now I'm going to do it with the variation format. And I didn't do an assistance giant set, so instead I moved on to the accessory. And I was doing some supination bicep curls, which again is just kind of an exercise to activate the biceps. I wasn't trying to kill my biceps or anything like that. I was just trying to get them activated, because today was supposed to be a lighter day. I also did some hitchhikers, because if you watch my channel long enough, you know that I really credit these and face pulls in order to keeping my shoulders healthy and not getting impinged. And then don't laugh, I know this is something from like the 80s, but I kind of felt like it was appropriate, but I borrowed my wife's thigh master. And that's because my inner thighs had problems, as you know, in the past if you watch my channel. And so I was trying to figure out how to target it, and I kind of figured once I rehabbed it that this was a great exercise to do in order to improve its strength. Don't laugh, it really does work. And that was the total workout for the day. Alrighty, so that's going to conclude it for today's workout. I really appreciate everybody stopping by and seeing me torture myself as I try to continue in my strength training. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.